All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Kelly's Reality. Today, we have a very Zen-like episode for you guys. My special guest is Vivian Rosenthal, and she is a breathwork teacher, a Kundalini yoga teacher, serial entrepreneur, and her latest venture is co-founder of Frequency Mind. So she is here to talk to us all about how to use something we already have, our breath, to help us regulate emotions and get in a better head and physical space. So Vivian, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Kelly. It's so good to be here. I'm really excited about this topic and sharing it with your viewers. So thank you. I know it's something you're also passionate about.
I am, definitely.
Yeah. And I feel like for good reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, can you start off by telling us a little bit about what exactly is breath work? I think a lot of times people hear the word and they're not really sure what it is. So can you explain it a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So breath work is really just the conscious awareness of our breath. So in some ways you could think of it as an active meditation, right? And if I think we're all at this point familiar with what meditation is, but many of us struggle to meditate because we often think we're doing it wrong, or we're stuck in our head, or we're the overactive type and we can't turn our mind off. And I think what I personally love and what I've seen with thousands of others for breath work is that it's just much more immediate and fun and dynamic than meditation. And again, it is a form of meditation, right? It's a breathing that we do, and we're going to do a little demo later, but it's this conscious awareness of your breath. And there's many different breath patterns that we can do, but it's bringing that attention to the breath in a way that allows us to move out of that left brain analytical, linear thinking into more of the right brain, spherical, holographic, intuitive, creative space, right? So it's moving from like beta into alpha and theta in terms of our brain state. And so it really just provides us with this incredible ability to shift our energy pretty immediately within, minutes. And, so I'm really excited just because I was and still am a longtime meditator, but I've always struggled wondering if I'm doing it right. And if I'm really getting the effects of it. And breath work, one, you sort of have an immediate effect. You feel the benefits right away. And so that really helps people understand, like, yes, they're doing it right. And because we all breathe, right, it's something that's so universal and democratic, and we all have access to it. And, it's really much more akin to physical fitness. And that's what we call at Frequency, we call breathwork like emotional fitness, right? Because we're a culture that understands fitness because it has a feedback loop, right? You start sweating, you're like, oh my God, you really feel a workout, right? And that's helping us by understanding that there's that feedback loop and we know we're doing something good for ourselves. Meditation for most doesn't have that feedback loop, but breathwork does, right? You get physical sensations right away. You get emotional shifts right away. And so you have a feedback loop that's similar to physical fitness, which is why we're calling it emotional fitness. And so as a result, people are more likely to actually adopt a practice and do it, whether it's every day or once a week or whatever it might be, because you do get that immediate feedback, which is, so gratifying and satisfying.
Yep. And there's been proven research on the benefits of breath work to even decrease stress, improved mood, reduced anxiety. So this is not just something that's not proven. There's definitely been.
Yeah, it's very scientifically based. There's a clinical trial going on at Johns Hopkins showing the effects of breath work to treat, as you said, anxiety, depression, PTSD. So, this is a deeply therapeutic practice. And so, what's really incredible is you can use it in many, many ways, right? And it's working on many, many levels. So it's working like on an energetic level, an emotional level, a mental level, a physical level, a spiritual level. And that's, what I love about it is it sort of feels like your entire system is really being addressed. And that's ultimately what we need, right? It's when we start to compartmentalize that we run into problems.
Right. And now, is breathwork something that you can do anywhere? I know with meditation, you kind of need almost a quiet room or at least somewhere to get in the zone. Is breathwork something you could do in your car, at your desk, at work, at home?
So I'd say not your car if you're driving. Okay. If you're in an Uber in a back seat, then like, okay. Definitely do not do breath work while you're driving. Don't do breath work while you're in the water. That's other than that though. Yes. I mean, you can do, you can do breath work just about anywhere. So there's many types of breath work, right? If we talk about yoga, right, there's so many different types of yoga. It's the same thing with breath work. So there's some types of breath work where you're wanting to be in an enclosed, quiet space and really cultivate that more meditative, like, environment. There's other types of breath work that's more like having, a shot of espresso. And instead of going to Starbucks, you could sit, in your car, turn it off in a parking lot before, a meeting, or sitting at home now that we're all on Zoom, and, and just do 3 minutes as like a jolt of energy to like restart your system. So it depends. And you can use breath work for sleep. You can eat, you can do breath work before you eat to have more mindful eating and change your relationship to food. So it's this beautiful, like intricate Swiss Army knife, right? And that's like what's so both exciting and fascinating about it. Is that there's many ways it can be applied. So to answer your question, yes, you can kind of slot it in as needed. You can do a full luxurious hour-long class, in the comfort of your bed or, on your couch, or you can just do a 5-minute tune-up.
Wow. Great. And such a place, like you said, there's so many different facets of this. I love the power of breath. And in my therapy sessions, I'll sometimes even just take a minute or two to just, hey, let's take some deep breaths. Because like you said, breathing is so universal, but unless you have a cold or, something where your breathing is compromised, most of us take that for granted and take advantage of it. Don't take advantage of it. But there's such power in just the healing power of breathing.
Yes. I mean, the healing power of breathing. You just said it perfectly, right? I want to say it again, the healing power of breathing. That's what's available to us all the time. But most of the time, as you know, right, we're all walking through life shallow breathing, which causes actually anxiety. So by not paying attention to our breath, most of the time we default to sort of these shallow, high up breaths. And so that's where like this conscious awareness of the breath as a practice becomes so meaningful. And the average person takes in about 25,000 breaths a day, right? Which is a lot. And when we think about, most of them are unconscious, right? Like most of them, you're not talking and thinking about your breath, or eating and thinking about your breath, or exercising and thinking about your breath. You can. And that's where the power comes in. And that's where we can give ourselves agency, right? This is literally a tool to heal ourselves. So Dan Brule, who's sort of like one of the godfathers of breath work. I mean, there's a few different incredible godfathers of breath work, but he's one of them. He's been teaching for over 30 years. And he calls breath work the preventative medicine of the 21st century for good reason, right? It's the only system in our body that both works on its own and we can have control over it, right? And so it's harnessing that control in which we take our power back and we can heal really almost anything, physically and emotionally. And so it's quite a powerful methodology.
Yeah. And like you said, no fancy equipment to buy. It's a system built in.
Very cheap.
Yes, I love that. And that's why, again, I love the power of that. And a big thing for me is mindfulness and presence and gratitude. And I think that just taking a moment, taking a breath, grounding yourself in where you are is so important too. And like you mentioned, we're all kind of fast paced right now. And most of us don't take the time to just take a deep breath, look around, feel where you are, and be present.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, it's something that we have to be, thoughtful about. We have to decide, I'm going to incorporate this into my life like anything else, right? But once you do, it actually is quite a pleasurable practice and fun. And you just said something which I loved, which is, gratitude. And I think, combining breath work with other emotional states, like bringing gratitude into the practice. So maybe you take 5 minutes to do some breathing every day, and you start to just visualize people in your life or things in your life that you're grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly that already starts to amplify the effects of the breath work, right? Because it's now been proven in scientific studies that if we spend 15 minutes a day in a state of gratitude, that we boost our immune system. And the same thing for breath work boosts our immune system, right? So suddenly you combine the two and you have this really potent formula for how to one, boost your immune system, which is obviously so needed these days, but also to give yourself a real like emotional boost as well.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Well, I'm very excited to get to that. But first of all, I'm just curious, what drew you to this? And do you have any personal ties to the breath work?
Yeah, many. I mean, I think like many people, we're often drawn to the things that we need the most, right? And then we fall in love with them and we want to share them with the world. And that's what happened to me. I was really sick with Lyme disease and ended up at the Mayo Clinic, hospitalized. And, you know, this was about 5 years ago. And I decided at that moment that when I got out, I really wanted to learn how to heal myself, both physically and emotionally, mentally. I was at the time really depressed, really anxious, really burnt out. And I was working in tech and I was a workaholic like so many people. And it just, my life kind of came to a screeching halt. And I realized how out of balance things were. And I ended up finding Kundalini yoga, which Kundalini is also, you know, very much based on the breath. And so I first did my studies in Kundalini yoga and became certified as a Kundalini yoga teacher. And then from there kept seeing like what was next. And breath work as its own modality appeared, and I had the chance to study, and I just fell even more deeply in love because it was just one of the most powerful tools I had found to help my anxiety and my depression, and also to rebuild my adrenals and just help rebuild like my physical strength and my energy levels as well. And so after doing breathwork training with a number of different teachers, and then also having the Kundalini background, I decided, you know, this was something I really, really wanted to share with other people. And I, along the way, met in sound school, which was a school where we were studying the healing properties of sound and vibration and frequency.
Wow.
Right. So really, like, we are, I mean, Tesla and Einstein said this, but we are just vibrating energy and frequency, right? And like an instrument, we can be tuned up or we can be tuned down.
Yep.
And in that course, I met Dr. Meg Poe, who's a psychiatrist, and she and I ended up having a very similar shared vision for frequency as a way to bring together the healing arts and the visual arts to create potent spaces, sacred spaces, and safe spaces for potent transformation, and really help reconnect us to our essence, our humanity, our shared humanity, and of course, help us heal in our journeys along the way. And for some people, that's physical illness. For some people, it's emotional distress. For others, it's just coping with like day-to-day life, which has just gotten harder and harder. And so we ended up co-founding Frequency together. And that's just been an incredible vehicle to share the practice of the breath with people.
Wow. That's so fantastic. Well, I'm so excited. I actually have personally not done an actual breath work lesson. I'm really big into yoga and of course some of the therapeutic breathing that I do in sessions, but I'm really looking forward to seeing a live demonstration of a quick something that we can do. So we're all excited to see it. So
should we get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So this is, so for anyone listening, I just need to give just a little description before we jump in. We're going to be doing a 2-part breath or pranayama. And we're going to just do a 10-minute version. Or you tell me if the 10 minutes we have time.
10 minutes is perfect.
Okay. And obviously anyone watching, you can pause this and then do the breath work at, later time in the day if that's better for you. So, find a time that works for your schedule. But we're going to be doing this 2-part breath work, this pranayama. And this is, as I mentioned before, deeply therapeutic. We're bringing in a huge amount of oxygen. We're decreasing carbon dioxide in this practice. And so what can happen is you can have a lot of physical sensations that you might not be used to. So it's important to just let you know what they are, so you know that you're actually totally safe. But we can get really tingly throughout our body, especially in our arms and legs and face. We can get a feeling of numbness as well. You can also have your hands cramp up like lobster claws, which is called technique. So know that can happen as well. You can get hot, you can get cold. This is, again, I decided to jump us into the deep end. So this is like one of the most intense breath work. So you can just get a sample. And then if you like this, I'm going to be sharing a code later with Kelly so she can give you guys all a free class to try out a full length class. But this is, so this is something that, you need to do. As we talked about, this is not the 3-minute do anywhere. This is one where you're going to want to be lying down. So for those listening, lie down on the floor on a yoga mat or on a couch or on your bed, and set aside 10 minutes where you can really be uninterrupted, right? So just putting your phone in airplane mode if you're watching on the computer, or if you're listening on your phone, just decide that you're not going to answer any texts or go on social media, because this is really a time for yourself to go more inward. And so, yeah, and this is just this practice is one that can be really emotionally charged for people. So know that if tears come up for you, if laughter is coming up, if anger is coming up, if you're feeling irritated, all of that's really normal, and it's quite good. We want to let the emotions surface. We want to let it up. So whatever you're feeling, just know that you're safe, you're held. You can let these emotions come to the surface, and you can always, if you need to, take a pause. Yep. All right. So we can practice the breath. So we're going to put one hand on our belly and one hand on our heart. All right. And we're going to just practice it right here, sitting up together. So we're going to breathe. It's all through the mouth. So we're going to breathe into the belly, into the heart, and release. Good. Into the belly, into the heart, and release. Good. Into the belly, into the heart, and release. Good. All right. So now a few more things just to get you all settled. So as I mentioned, again, this breath is a pretty deep therapeutic practice. So if at any point you want to slow down, all you need to do is return to regular nostril breathing. So you're in control. This is your vehicle that you're driving, right? So just know that. And if the energy is flowing too much and you're feeling the physical sensations are too intense, you can always bend your knees and bring your feet up to your chest, and that slows down the energy. And then if you turn on your side, that really blocks the energy from flowing. So it's really, find your pace and see what feels right for you. And so with that, Kelly, are you going to want to lie down and actually do it, or are you?
I might, if I disappear for a little bit for those.
Yeah, I think that's fine, because no one's going to be watching. No one can watch you anyway, because they're going to be lying down if they're doing it at the same time.
Well, I am going to disappear and let you do your thing.
Okay, good. And I'm going to I'm just connecting to the speaker.
Another device.
All right. And if I need to turn this up or down, I will. So really the only thing that you need to remember is breathing in through the mouth. So I'm going to guide us. Here we go. I'm going to put a little music on. All right. So one hand on the heart. We're going to be here for about 10 minutes. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. All right. And it sounds like this. So in, out, into the belly, into the heart, release. In, out, belly, heart, release. Belly, heart, release. Belly, heart, release. Good. All right. Again, it's all through the mouth. Good work, everyone. Just staying with the breath. You might feel some resistance. No, this is really normal. This is the ego not wanting to let go. But just keep breathing into the belly, into the heart, and then release all through the mouth. All right, now I want you to just bring a little smile to your face as you keep breathing and just see how that starts to change. Good. Belly, heart, release. Belly, heart, release. Good. In, out. And see if you can let that smile radiate down to your heart. And as Kelly spoke about, let's practice tuning into the frequency of gratitude. Good. And just start to picture someone you're grateful for during these trying, hard times. Just someone who's really helped you in the last month. Good. And really visualize them and just send them your love, send them your gratitude. All right. Stay with the breath. Good. All through the mouth. Belly, heart, release. Belly, heart, release. Beautiful work. Good. Now, if you're feeling resistance to the breath, know this is perfectly normal. And this is often where the medicine is for you then in this particular moment. So if you're feeling resistance or irritation or anger, just welcome it. Bring it in to the party. Let it breathe with you. Let it be there. But just stay with the breath. Don't give up on yourself. Good. Belly, heart, release. Beautiful. We're moving into the second song. This is the second song of the active 2-part breath. So just finding your rhythm with the music and trusting your breath, trusting your body. If you want to go a little deeper, you can breathe a little bit more deeply. If the physical sensations are a lot for you and you need to slow down, you can always go at your own pace and breathe through your nose. Otherwise, for those who want to go a little deeper, let's go. Good. Belly, heart, release. Belly, heart, release. going to take a deep breath in and just sigh it out. Another deep breath in and just sigh it out. Incredible work, everyone. This is really part of your healing journey. Now we're going to just let ourselves rest in this state. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. Nothing to be. Just breathing through the nose, regular nostril breathing, letting go of the breath through the mouth. Now you can slowly turn to one side and just let yourself lie there for just a little bit, curled up in the fetal position. Feel the weight of your body against the ground. Feel yourself supported and held. Feel this deep rest that you're bringing to your nervous system. Now, for those listening, you can either stay as long as you want, that feels good, curled, lied up, lie in this fetal position, lying down, sorry, I was mixing my words. And when you feel ready, you can return to a seated position, and perhaps you want to take out a journal and just journal with whatever's come up for you today in this short breath practice. But there's no rush. Take your time. If you want to stay lying down and just be in that meditative state, please do. Hi, Kelly. Welcome back.
Oh.
How was that?
You know, it's such a difference in just almost the force of breath, because like you said, we're so normally like shallow breathing, and to tell your body to breathe deep, to breathe a little bit quicker. It's like, wow, it's such a difference. And I definitely felt the tingling that you said, and it's got to be the blood and the energy, just kind of our
All
body,
of it. Yeah,
to really breathe like that. And yeah, it feels good. It was invigorating for me personally. I feel
great,
energized right now.
Yeah, you feel it. You like your energy definitely feels really like lifted and and clear. You feel very clear. Breathwork often provides a lot of clarity for people.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is what we can have from coffee too, but without sort of the jitters and without the effect on our adrenals. And but yeah, and that brightness that you look at right now, you look amazing.
And you feel good. And I love too at the beginning how you said kind of send your good energy, think about someone, almost dedicate this quick practice to them, sending them good energy. I loved that too. And it's just such a cool experience.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for having me on and allowing me to share this with people.
Absolutely. And if people want to hear more from you or look into your breathwork classes, where can they find you at?
Yeah. So there's two ways. The main way is frequencymind.com. So our website. So just, or on Instagram at frequencymind. And we have all the classes. I teach every Saturday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and would love your viewers to join. I can actually just give a 50% code off of that Saturday class, which is just my name, Vivian, Vivian, all caps, and then the number 50.
Okay.
So when you put that in at checkout, it will give you 50% off your first class. And I would love to see some of you live. It's over Zoom. It's every Saturday. And we do an hour of deep breath work, and it's just really incredible and fun. So hope to see some of you there.
Yes, I would definitely like to check out a session. Like I said, I've never done anything like this. And I just think it's such a great, like you said, it's that mental wellness part of it, of just, we work out in the gym, we eat as good as we can. And this is like that whole body, whole mind wellness. And I love it. I'm always about anything that can just kind of elevate you and get you moving forward as a better person. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I do hope you'll take a full class, Kelly. That's really fun.
I'd love to check out a little bit more. And I know on Instagram too, you do kind of little snippets of things.
On my personal Instagram, I do. Yeah, I do for fun. Yeah, absolutely. So you can also follow me on at Vivian Rosenthal, which is my personal Instagram. Yeah.
Yes. Well, again, if everyone wants to use the code, check out a Saturday class. Maybe I'll be on the Zoom with you guys.
That would be fun.
Thank you so much for your time. And I'm really excited to take a class and, again, do something different.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I'm really grateful to be here. Thank you. Thanks for all of you who listen. Bye.